what I want to do is land on the carpet. Yes! I took some damage there, but that's perfectly okay. Alright. We are good to go. So yes, you do take fall damage in this game. Let's go ahead and unlock these doors. Just go ahead and do both of them. So, yeah, remember the guard stupidity thing? This is, has quite a lot to do with that. Alright. Alright, he hangs out to the right a long time. So I may be able to sneak up when he does that again. I may in fact be able to do it now, but I'm a little afraid of him turning around on me. This must be the most boring job in the world, just standing here guarding the Lord's most precious item. Yeah, I probably could have taken him right about now, and he's going to turn. Alright. That's fine. We can wait a little bit. As a matter of fact, I may be actually able to sneak around behind him and get him that way. He's going to be...
Well. Don't know what it was.
Alright. Now I can go get him. I have to be really careful here, though. I don't want to make a wrong step. Alright, he's going to turn right. Oh, what do you know? Another key. Forward and bam! Gotcha! And that is how Garrett the Master Thief do. Let's just lay out in the middle of the floor there.
It's a throne room. How pretentious can you get?
Look who's talking, Garrett. Look who walked right up in it and just plucked it from its holster.
Here we go.
And now, we have the item we came for. Lord Bafford's sceptre. I am your new lord now. Garrett, the Master Thief. Just because I can. Now, I think you can actually hit this if you want. But, again, it's an alert system. Not recommended. I think you actually fail this level automatically if that gets set off on higher difficulties, including Expert. But, now that we have completed every single objective that we have, including the getting 700 gold, which we have 902 of, not to mention the other stuff that we have, including gems and goods, which brings us to a total of 1,400 gold that we can now spend at our leisure on the items for the next mission. Let's go ahead and get the hell out of here. And since we have no guards on patrol except for the ones in the front room there, we don't have to give a shit about anything, except for this new note. To all staff, the Sir will be taking his dinner and evening out tonight, so domestics and manservants have the night free. Housekeep is still expected to finish the quarters in the general polish. The house guard is not to find this an opportunity to shirk, and lapses will be brought up with the Sir. Cedric. Alright. I don't think this is the right hallway. Yeah, I think it's on the other side of the mansion here. So let's see, is this the right room? Close enough. Let's go ahead and pass through it. Alright. Bye. That mission complete screen. Why don't we take a look at the stats? Difficulty Expert. Total time 1 hour, 11 minutes, 4 seconds. Found 1417 loot out of 1429. Ah, I missed one. Darn. Pockets picked 4 out of 4. Backstabs 0. Knockouts 13. Damage dealt 52 damage taken, 2 healing taken. Or damage dealt 52, damage taken 2, healing taken 2. Innocents killed none, and others killed 4. Okay. Bodies discovered by enemies 1. Interesting. So somebody actually discovered someone that was knocked out. Huh. Okay. Bizarre. Oh well. I don't know what that whole killing something is about. I think that's actually a bug. But whatever. So that was the first mission. Ugh. This next mission and onward I am a lot less familiar with. I haven't gotten through the entire game. So there are going to be some points, there's going to get to a point where I'm not going to have a clue as to what's actually going on as far as what the mission is like. This mission I have some familiarity with, mostly because I got stuck on it for days at a time. But let's watch the introduction first. Before death came, the liars were made to feast upon the hands of the thieves, and the thieves were made to ingest the tongues of their liar brothers. And we praise the Master Builder for his judgments. The Hammer Book.
I went to Cuddy's place to deliver the scepter, but Cuddy wasn't there. He'd been arrested by the Hammerites. Apparently they didn't approve of his occupation, and I doubt they approve of mine. So hopefully they'll never catch sight of me when I break him out of their prison. Which is what I'm going to do. They're holding Cuddy in a mining complex carved out of a quarry. The quarry's flooded, but the Hammers still work the top-level mines and have converted part of the complex into a penitentiary for those who violate their tenets. An associate of mine was confined there and has provided me with a map. It would be difficult to get in by way of the main gate, but there is another option. The mines break the surface of a hill south of the quarry. I'll drop into the mines and head for the prison, which will be found somewhere uphill and to the north. The Hammers don't venture into these lower mine levels because they're reputed to be haunted. I'd rather not have to do this job, but Cuddy's a reliable fence, and I don't appreciate the Hammerites abducting him. And he owes me money for the Bafford job.
Money, a thief's greatest motivator. So our objectives in Break from Craig's Cleft Prison. Your map doesn't show the way through the mines, so you're going to have to scout around to make your way to where they hold the prisoners. Cuddy still owes you for the Bafford job. Break him out, and you'll get your cash. You've had your eye on Basso, the Boxman's sister, for a while now. If you break him out of Craig's Cleft, she'll probably be very grateful. Interesting random note there. Isset, the beggar, borrowed your lucky hand of glory, and knowing him, probably hid it from the Hammer's body search in ways you'd rather not think about. Get it back. There's bound to be some pricey religious icons in any Hammer complex. Try to come out with at least 1,000 worth of their stuff. Escape from the prison with Cuddy and Basso the Boxman. A true professional doesn't leave a mess. Don't kill anyone. Interesting that they would make reference to the Lucky Hand of Glory. That was a very popular item back in the day back in the medieval days for thieves and burglars, which, well, kind of the same thing. But what the Hand of Glory was, for those of you who don't know, it is a real severed hand of a human being that the thief would put wax on, basically like a candle, put a wick, light it on fire. Not the hand, mind you, the wax candle. I don't remember if the candle was on the hand, if it was part of the hand, or if it was just sat next to. But essentially what the Hand of Glory did when it was lit, the thought was that it would put all the tenants of the house that the thief was robbing to sleep, and would make sure that not only would the people remain asleep throughout the burglary, but also that the thief would have a good find. So it was essentially a good luck token. It was the traditional thief's rabbit foot, if you will. So I like how they put that in there. And also we have a love interest. Interesting. But let's go ahead and prepare for Crag's Cliff prison break. Now remember all that gold that we got in the last mission? We can use it to pay for items here. Every last coin. So that means I'm going to be getting every single water arrow. We can also get something called a speed potion. This will greatly increase our speed for a little while. It costs 500 coin. I personally don't see much use in a speed potion. I think we move fast enough already. Probably for if you get caught by something and you just want to get the hell out of there, then, you know. However, we do have a hot tip. Hot tips are essentially tips. They're hints. They're useful information that may help you on your journey throughout this whole escapade. A few well-placed inquiries might reveal where the hammers are keeping Cuddy. This costs 300 gold. Most certainly worth it. Now we also have something else we are introduced to called moss arrows. This arrow sends out a cloud of moss upon impact, which settles into a soft and silent carpet. Each of these cost 125 gold. I'm going to be getting both of them. I believe that we will be finding more of these in the mission, but every single one, just like water arrows, is a help. And we have another tip here. A former prisoner of Craig's Cleft says he has info about the haunted mines. That only costs 100 and we have 117. Let's go ahead and purchase it. Because remember, all the cash that we are using here, that we don't use in this mission purchasing thing here, we don't get to use for purchasing items in the next mission briefing. So we may as well spend everything. But we got our hot tip, we got our regular tip, we got plenty of water arrows in case we run into more torches and candles, or fireplaces, and we have a couple moss arrows, which may prove useful. Now you may also notice that we don't have our blackjack or sword. I believe we're going to be having those anyway. So no worries about those missing or anything like that. However, we have something else. A noisemaker arrow. The mechanism in this arrow produces a strange noise upon impact, useful as a distraction. I don't really see the point in these because if you use a broadhead arrow, you kind of end up with the same thing. It produces a loud noise. Serves as a distraction. So, I don't really see the point in it. But we have it, we may as well end up using it at some point. And here we are, at the entrance to the mines. Now remember, the mines are reported to be haunted. Reported to be haunted. We'll see how true that turns out to be. Now, before we really get into the mines, I'm going to take my time in getting there and explain something about a little bit more about the building behind this game. Before I do, however, there's a little gem thing here that we can pick up. So, in the making of Thief, this was originally called, if you go to the original game called Thief the Dark Project, Thief the Dark Project was actually originally named The Dark Project. And it was originally supposed to be something about some sort of lord and how he was handling the old days of the medieval world. And it was called The Dark Project. However, they quickly tossed that idea out the window and came across the whole thief concept. Now, the thing with the thief concept is that it's not just about stealing and being stealthy. There's a lot more to it than that, especially if you go to the Dungeons and Dragons or any other game's reference material for what a thief can do. Not only do you go to people's houses and loot stuff from places that most other people wouldn't normally go and try to avoid everyone in your path, but you can also raid dungeons. Thieves break other people out that are also of the criminal mindset, because that coin. And thieves may find themselves in unusual places that most other people wouldn't go, and in unusual situations. And Garrett himself is in quite the unusual situation to begin with, because he is with a group called the Keepers. Now, if you remember correctly, in the introduction cutscene, we were talking to someone who was a keeper. And he said, Garrett has a talent, for he can see a keeper, and the keepers are usually hard to be seen, especially when they don't want to be seen. So I'll let you guys chew on that for a bit, while we make a wide berth of this fly-covered corpse here. A very poor omen of things to come. God, the ambience in this game is so good. I love it. So, this must have been very grueling work for the workers down here, if there are corpses here already. And we're just getting into the mines now. What is this? Looks like we found some ore. Yes, indeed, I think we found some ore. Now, we do have these tips that we can take a look at. Since we are in the mines, though, let's go ahead and take a look at this original tip first. Word on the street is that the Hammers are eager to take back the top level of the haunted mines, because there's a specially blessed holy water font there. Interesting. Now, font in the context of this game is more of a fountain or pedestal with water in it. A little bit like the holy chalice of Jesus, if you will, more or less. So, blessed water. Now we also have this hot tip. Let's go ahead and read this now. According to Dickett, a heretic who was recently let out of Cragscliff, Cuddy's being held in cell block 4. That's not much use to us at this point in time, but that will definitely be useful later. Let's go ahead and check around this corpse, see if there's anything useful, and not walk into the flies. Because those are biting flies. They will hurt. So, something to watch out for. And if you thought the previous level was dark, this level is dark. And because of that, I'm actually going to put up the brightness a little bit. This is probably not going to do anything for you guys, but for me, it's going to help a lot. There we go, I can actually see stuff now. There's another corpse over there. It doesn't have flies over it, though. Just in case there are any hammers around here, though, I'm going to be a little bit slower. What do we got going on here? The factory is that way. Okay.